Wood is one of the most abundant and available materials. It literally grows on trees. It's generally strong, lightweight, and relatively easy to work into a variety of shapes, from kitchen utensils and handles to ships or even entire buildings. It has been a critical material for building things up, but also for tearing them down. Many weapons of war have been made from wood, in whole or in part. Bows, arrows, clubs, spears, even firearms, all used wood. But it always seemed to me that there was one important place where it was missing. If wood is cheap, lightweight, and strong, then why not use it for armor? At least if you couldn't afford the good stuff. Well, if you look around the world, you may find that wood armor did exist. There are records and even preserved pieces from the Americas and ancient Japan, for example. However, it would seem at a glance that if wood armor ever existed in any given region, then it certainly disappeared once a strong metalworking culture developed there. But is that actually true? Let's take a look. First of all, it's important to note that shields are essentially a form of wooden armor. They take advantage of the strength and lightness of wood to make a mobile piece of protection capable of stopping arrows or binding blades. This makes a lot of sense and seems more practical than strapping planks all over your body that could easily impede motion. This is a great clue as to why it might seem wooden armor was avoided. In a world of mobile spear formations or cavalry charges, it would be rather important to have close-fitting armor that is flexible or articulated to maximize mobility. This is much easier to achieve in metals or fabrics than with wood. However, there is one place on the body that shouldn't really be bending much anyway, where this would be less of an issue. That is the top of the head. Indeed, we do find multiple examples of wooden helmets throughout history. When recording details of the Greco-Persian Wars, Herodotus describes several groups within the invading army as wearing wooden helmets. The Colchians, for example, had wooden helmets and small shields of raw oxhide and short spears and swords withal. So a portion of the invading army found wood to be a suitable enough material for helmets, even while preferring animal hide for shields and metal for weapons. In another example, we actually have several surviving helmets found from Iron Age Denmark. These are made from aspen rootwood. The tangled grain structure you can see would make it difficult to carve, but far more resistant to splitting. This at least suggests a functional nature to the helmets rather than decorative, and they would have survived at least a few good hits. I even found a claim that there was an arrowhead lodged in one of them, but I wasn't able to confirm. It's rare for wooden artifacts to survive hundreds, let alone thousands of years. Most will rot away if not preserved in a dry or low oxygen environment, so it's possible there are other similar helmets throughout barbarian Europe that have vanished to time. While wood has many advantages as a material, one weakness is its tendency to split. The rootwood shown earlier is more resistant, but another way to remedy this weakness is to combine wood panels with something more flexible, such as leather, for added durability. One seeming example of this technique shows a variety of painted helmets from the Mamluk period that have been found in Syria. These images are from the Laboratory of Restoration of Organic Materials in Damascus, and the helmets are reportedly made from a combination of wood and leather layered together like a composite. So even if the wood of these helmets were to crack, the leather could hold everything together and absorb some of the damage, which seems like a clever way to make a durable yet light piece of equipment. Likewise, a number of 11th to 14th century castle armory ledgers in Spain and Italy mention inventory of helmets made from leather and wood, though I don't believe any surviving examples have yet been found. Outside of head protection, greaves are another form of armor that could more easily lend itself to wooden construction. The 6th century East Roman Strategicon records arming infantry of the front line with wooden greaves. Splinted greaves are normally made from iron or steel, but they do allow the use of straight flat bands of material. So this would be a particularly suitable design if using wooden slats, and is likely the form described here. The picked men of the files should have mail coats, all of them if it can be done, but in any case the first two in the file. They should also have iron or wooden greaves, at least the first and second in each file. So we do have at least a few examples of head and leg armor through various points of history, even in areas where metalworking was an available practice. If combined with a shield, we could then imagine a soldier being protected from head to toe by wood while maintaining good mobility. And remember, it's likely that wood was used in many more examples than we're currently aware of, and despite some clear disadvantages, is probably underrepresented in our modern knowledge of historical armor due to the highly perishable nature of the material. If you do know of any other armor finds made of wood or other unusual materials, please share below, and thank you for watching.